things. As you get up out of your chair, a couple reminders. We have our Balance Bingo happening now. All you have to do is download the Balance Bingo card. It's on our Slack channel, and then you can start crossing things off. This is one of the classes on there. So use today to mark off one of those boxes. If you have not downloaded that, can't find it on Slack, just let me know. Then we have our Tech Try Sprint program that starts September 8th. So you still have time to register. This is a really fun challenge, whether that's endurance or speed. And then we have our cooking demo, zesty shrimp and black bean salad, happening on Wednesday, September 25th. So if you need any of these links, any of the registrations, just let me know at the end of class. All right, we're going to kick off our balance break with some hip openers. So I want your feet planted hip distance apart. You're going to take your right leg. We're going to lift it up, take it around and down. Now notice my knee stays as bent as possible the whole way around. And then I tap my foot down. So we're not going with a straight leg. We're really isolating that movement in the hip joint, as well as waking up those muscles there. So we want to keep our body nice and upright. We have one more in this direction. And then we'll reverse. So same thing. We're going to start back this time, but then we're going to pick it up, knee bends, and we're going to bring it forward, start back, and repeat. Again, our hips stay facing forward. So notice how I'm not rotating towards that leg as I lift it up. If you feel any kind of awkward, uncomfortable movement in that hip, just decrease the range of motion. Two more in this direction. And then we'll switch sides. So shift your weight onto your right leg. Find a nice stable base. We'll take our left leg, bring it up, around, and down. Again, keeping that knee as bent as you can, all the way around. At any time during this class, since we are working on balance, sometimes our balance just isn't there, depending on the day. So you can always hold on to something. I would prefer a stable surface. So like your rolling chair, if you're really off balance, I don't want it to roll out from under you. Go ahead and reverse this direction. But just because you have to hold on to something one day doesn't mean you have to hold on to it the next. A balance can be really mental. So sometimes just having something there makes all the difference, even if you don't even have to touch it. One more here. And shake those legs out. We're going to come into a hip flexor stretch. So I want you to send your right leg back. We're in a staggered stance, which means I want to be able to see both your feet if I'm looking at you forward. I'm going to tip my camera down because I know my lighting is shifting as I go. So my right leg is back, staggered stance, and I want my feet parallel. So check, make sure both toes are pointing forward. We're going to bend that front leg, so really leaning into it, and then tuck the tailbone under. So pulling the belly button in and tucking under is going to activate that glute, that right glute, and you should feel a stretch in the front of that leg. Now this might be enough for you. You might feel enough of a stretch. You're like, cool, I'm going to stay here. If you want a little bit more, I want you to take that right arm and send it up towards the sky. It's going to open the right side of your body, so it'll deepen that stretch. But we still want our core, I almost fell over, core engaged, so we're not sinking into that low back. And then from here, you can take it over to the side, towards that front leg, and come up center, if you're ready for it. So if you feel like that stretch is just a little too much, just stay nice and upright. Get to choose your variation. Either way, this is going to focus on balance. It's going to challenge your balance, is what I want to say. So you're going to have to find that stability through the core. Last one here. Reach over and come up. We'll step that right foot forward. Left leg goes back. Same thing, staggered stance, toes parallel, so facing forward, lunging into that front leg, tucking the tailbone. So our left glute is active now, opening the front of the left hip. Maybe you stay here, or you can lift that left arm up. Reset the core, make sure that stays engaged so we're not compressing our lumbar spine, low back. Big breath in, big breath out. Reach over if you're ready and come back up. Just adding that little bit of movement not only increases the stretch, but it also increases the challenge of that balance. Reach over, take it up. We have 2 more. Last one. Center, go ahead and step that leg forward. We're going to shift our weight back to the left foot now. Taking our right leg, we're going to lift it out to the side and back down. Now we're starting here by tapping the toe in between reps. So that gives us a chance to kind of reset before we send it back out. But then we're going to start to progress. So I want you to try now not to tap that toe down, but to hover the foot and send it back out. So that takes away that reset point, challenges the endurance of the left leg as well as the core. Three more here. Take it out to the side and back down. And rest, switching sides. So shifting the weight to the right foot, screw that foot into the ground, starting with that tap in between. So send the left leg out, tap it back down. Now for these exercises, you can always put your arms out wherever they feel like they help you the most. It's different for everyone. So sometimes hands on your hips make you feel really stable. For me, hands at my chest for whatever reason. Arms out usually helps. Now we can progress if you're ready to that hover. So no tap down. Arms wherever they help the most. If you have something for balance, you have a light grip on it. This is 3, 2, 1. Good work. Shake it out. Step those feet nice and wide. So if you haven't noticed, we're focusing on side to side movement today. So we're going to continue with that. I want our feet wide and our toes pointed out just slightly. So we're not out completely. We're just out at a diagonal. And we're going to go side to side in a lunge. So in our lunge, it's going to be a combo of a squat and a hinge. So my hips go back, my knee tracks my toes, and then I'm going to come up center and switch. Hinge, my back is flat, and I come up. So from the side, you can see that my hips go back as my knee bends, and I'm not rounding. And then I press through that leading foot over to the other side. So we're strengthening one leg at a time here, getting our legs used to taking that work one at a time. If you can, start to get a little lower. So that's going to depend on a lot of things. So if you can't get any lower, that's okay. Sometimes it's knee mobility, hip mobility, or just strength. We have 3 more, or make it even, whatever that looks like for you. Last one. Now we're going to kind of increase this challenge. So I want you to start on one side. We're going to move into an exercise called skaters. We're going to start slow and progress. So we're going to hop to one foot from the opposite foot. So starting with that right, I want you to hop to your left, tap that back foot down, hop to your right, tap that back foot down. So that back foot gives us a reset point. We hop and tap. Now, if you want to progress, we're going to hover. So we're taking that back foot, hovering, finding our balance before we jump to the next side. Hop and balance. Now, if that hop is too much, step, tap, step, tap. All right? So lots of options. But find your balance challenge. I don't want you to take it too easy. I want you to have that wiggle in your ankle, have to catch yourself in your core. like slow motion skaters, which is even harder. Fast skaters. You have 10 more seconds here at your own pace. I want you to catch your balance before switching. Last one. And rest. Shake it out. That is all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you have any questions about any programs, just let me know. If not, have a great rest.